About a year ago, this car got a flat tire, which was a little bit of a problem because the car didn't come with a jack, a tire iron, spare tire, didn't come with a little air compressor, or even a bottle of self-sealing tire goo. It came with none of that, but it was fine. I got it figured out, got back on the road, and then I promptly forgot about that issue until this week when I got another flat tire. So today on Zero to Awesome, we're going shopping for tire inflators for your car. And spoiler alert, I actually already went shopping and I bought a lot of tools. So let's take a look. It is no secret that we like DeWalt tools around this YouTube channel. So my first thought when I needed a tire inflator for that car was to buy one of these. A second tire inflator that I already own. So this is DeWalt's 20-volt inflator. I have one, I usually keep it in the garage. If we're going on a road trip out of town, maybe I'll throw it in the back of the car, but it lives in the garage. I like it, it works well, and I thought, hey, I'll just get another one to keep in the back of the Tesla. And I was all set to buy that DeWalt tire inflator when I found this. This is Harbor Freight's Bauer 20-volt tire inflator. It is basically the knockoff version of the DeWalt. And before we open this up, we need to talk pricing. This thing sells at Home Depot, Lowe's, big box stores for about $130, $140. You can get it on Amazon for about $120, maybe a little bit less if you shop around. This was on sale for $29.99. So I could literally buy 4 of these for one of those. And just wait right there. So with that in mind, I did buy another one. It's still, I mean, what did we just say? 4 to 1. So, I'm not completely silly. I didn't buy 4 of these. I also bought this 20-volt garden weed pressurized sprayer thing so that I can kill all of my neighbor's plants. And then also a Bauer transfer pump. It's cordless, or you can plug it in, you hook a hose in, you pump stuff back and forth. DeWalt doesn't make one, Makita does. I've always wanted it, so I just bought this one. And the crazy thing is, all of these were $29.99 each. So I could have bought one DeWalt inflator or all of these tools. I went with all of these tools. But today we're not talking about our neighbor plant killer or our sucky suck device. We're talking about the tire inflator. So let's get these unboxed and see which one's better through a series of scientific tests. Right out of the box, I mean, there's definitely some similarities, almost like one company was copying another company. I'll let you decide who copied who. These should both have very similar features. They can both be used to inflate car tires. They both have digital readouts where I know on the DeWalt, you set the pressure that you want, then you just hit go and it does it. I'm thinking this should work the same way. And they also both have adapters, so you can hook them up to more than just car tires. You can inflate kids' toys and pool floaties and lake floaties. And then also, they both work on battery and on 12 volts, so you can plug it into your car. And well, I did buy a lot of Harbor Freight power tools for very cheap, but I was not gonna buy their batteries. So I picked up this on Amazon, about $10. This should let me use my DeWalt batteries with these Harbor Freight tools. So we're gonna try it out on 12 volt plugged in the car, and then also with the battery adapter. The first question I have is, will this work with my DeWalt batteries? So we'll grab just a normal battery, plug it into our adapter, which it fits, hook it in the tool, and press power. We're on. Once we turn it on, we can set our pressure higher or lower. And then I would imagine, here's our go button, and it should cut off when we get to our desired pressure. Similar with the DeWalt, we put a battery in, we turn it on, we set our pressure, and then we hit go. So I'm gonna load up 2 fully charged batteries, identical DeWalt power stack batteries in both of these compressors. Then we're gonna start off with our first test. And our first test is who can pump up a tire faster. For test number 1, our speed test, we grabbed 2 trailer tires that have been rotting behind my garage for about 2, maybe 3 years now. We pumped them up to 20 PSI with my air compressor, checked them with my little air chuck here so they're both at the same pressure, installed a fully charged DeWalt power stack battery on both of the tire pumps, and then we set them to 30 PSI. So when we press go, the races start and we're gonna see who gets to 31st. One thing to note is both these tires, I put to 20 PSI with an air chuck. DeWalt's reading 17.5, the Bauer's reading 18.5. So maybe to begin with, neither of these are the most accurate, or maybe my air chuck's not accurate. Anyways, we're getting 3 different readings on 2 different tires with 3 different devices. But here goes the race, test number 1. Scientific test number 1. On your mark, get set, go. I don't know why this one kept going past 30. It was set to 30. Okay, so that was really weird. They were neck and neck. The DeWalt one got there just a little bit closer, but the DeWalt one cut off at 30, and this kept going until I pressed buttons. So I wonder if we turn the PSI up, turn up to 35, and we'll have it start again. This one did not cut itself off again. It wanted to go like 1 PSI above. So let's read the instructions real quick. So the instructions do say, note, when the programmed pressure is reached, pump will shut off. I thought there was a chance maybe I just don't know what I'm doing and this one doesn't auto shut off, but it should have, so that's good to know. Doesn't necessarily auto shut off at the PSI you put in, but it gets close. Well, that little discovery that this doesn't shut itself off is gonna affect test number 2, which was accuracy. The plan was to set these to a specific PSI, pump something up, and then test to see how accurate their little onboard gauges were. But that's not gonna work. So we're gonna have to move directly into alternate test number 2, the durability test. After an exhaustive durability test, I can say build quality, they're pretty much the same. Our little tire fill hoses are about the same size. Interesting differences though, the DeWalt one is this screw-on adapter, and the Bauer one is your typical, what you'd expect to see on the end of a bike pump. I don't know which is better. This style right here seems a little more secure, but at the same time, it's kind of a pain in the butt to put on. The inflator hoses for filling up pool floaties are about the same length. The LEDs are equally bright and will blind you. Come with the exact same adapters, which I will say after owning this one for years, I've never used any of those adapters. I would say the only benefit I can tell between the two is the DeWalt has this nice little compartment that holds your 12-volt plug to plug into your car outlet, your car adapter. Whereas the Bauer one, it tucks below and it's kind of hard to get in there. It took me a while to cram that thing in there. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. But otherwise, durability-wise, for a $30 power tool, I'm pretty impressed with this. So now to the final test. Since we can't test accuracy, we're gonna test blowing up my duck. This is my inflatable duck. He doesn't have a name, and it's good that he doesn't have a name because we're gonna try and blow him up. And no, I don't mean we're gonna inflate him with our tire inflator. I'm fairly certain it could inflate our duck. What I mean is both of those tire inflators claim that they have a maximum output of 160 PSI. And our duck here, he can't handle 160 PSI. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook an inflator up, probably start with the Bauer, and see if he can pop our duck. I honestly don't think he can. I think it's gonna get to a maximum pressure and just not be able to inflate anymore, and our good friend here will be just fine. And if not, well, if not, we're down 1 duck. Oh! Okay. I went over 160 PSI and it went around to 1, but if you press down, it'll go back to 160. So we are set to 160 PSI. We're gonna put this in inflator mode and we're gonna blow a duck. You've been a good friend. You honestly deserve better than this, but alas, this is what's happening. Okay, it's been a few minutes and you could feel air coming out of the air inlet. It was basically the duct was so full it was blowing air back out through the air pump. So I'm gonna say that's a fail. This thing can't blow up a duct. So let's try and kill him with the DeWalt. Duct murder, take 2, DeWalt version. All right, well, same thing. You could feel the air coming out of the entry side, so our duct was actively deflating after a couple of minutes of pumping it up. I didn't really think either of them were gonna blow up the duct. I thought if anything, the hose was gonna pop out of our little duct filler before that happened, but I guess test number 3, this little guy, he gets to live another day. One more final thought before we get into our findings after our scientific experiment is that our DeWalt used no bars of batteries and our Bauer used 1 bar. And these were identical batteries, literally came in a 2-pack, equally charged them, both power stack batteries. So make of that what you will. I do know, and I will admit that the Bauer, it is going through this adapter, which I'm pretty excited to try this out on my other Bauer tools that I acquired. So overall though, is our $30 tire inflator as good as our $130 tire inflator? It's pretty close. It's close enough that I would say I'm pretty happy. I've got a couple of these to throw in the back of the Tesla, throw one in the back of the 4Runner. The Healy, well, that needs an engine. And the Bug, it's been so hot this summer, it hasn't been driven a lot. So those, they don't get tire inflators, but if they do, I'm definitely gonna pick up another one of these. I will say the fit and finish on the Bauer is not nearly as nice. The little hose, it's a little more plasticky. This, it's a little cheesy, not as nice as this brass twist-on fitting, but literally for $100 less, this is gonna do just fine living in my trunk. I have no doubts. I don't think it's gonna leave me stranded on the side of the road. If anyone's leaving me stranded on the side of the road, it's Elon Musk because he sold me a car without a spare tire. It's not Harbor Freight's fault. With all of that in mind, I'm actually pretty excited to unbox my other Bauer tools. Especially, I don't think DeWalt makes either one of these. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comments below. I don't think DeWalt makes a powered chemical sprayer or a small battery powered transfer pump. So I'm pretty excited to try those out. And will I switch to Harbor Freight tools? No, I won't. But if they're cheap enough and I have a need for one, then yes, I definitely will buy it. Until next time, I'm gonna make some space on my shelves for those guys.